Okay, we're back. Welcome back to our next video. We're gonna do the eyes. As you can see, I got the mouth in there, and sort of have to eyeball it. And I'm gonna mark it here so I know sort of where the center is. And a lot of times I don't do that, but I try to do it so I know where to put my nose. So I have room so my nose won't be crooked. I have messed up before and got my not paying attention and got a little off and had to put a crooked nose on it, but hey, somebody liked it. They bought it. Okay, here's my eyeball. Again, it's porcelain. The color of it, iris and the pupil, made that out of porcelain with mason stain in it to give it a little color. So what I do is to put it in there, I wet the back of it a little bit, and I put just a little bit of clay on it. And the reason I put the clay on it is it's not always real flat on the back. It might have a little hole here and there, so I don't want to have a hole behind it and end up blowing the eyes off in the kiln. So we'll do that, helps it stick there. And something I do too, I'm going to do on this one, is I'll punch a couple holes where the eyes is going to be, and that way there's an air hole behind the eyes, so that if I do have any issues, air can go inside. And normally it still seals it enough that it makes the jug watertight. Some people like to have it watertight. And I'll put these on here. Let's see, wet that a little bit in. Sometimes I have to clean up the eyes a little bit. I get a little bit of the clay on the porcelain, but I can clean it up and scrape that off. Okay. Now, after I do that, I have to put a little bit of clay on the bottom, the lower lid, eyelid. I thought I had a piece rolled out for that, but I used it, I believe. And I normally etch around that a little bit. I had some problems with my eyelids and all, piece going around my eye trying to come off, so I hadn't been etching around the eyes. And I think that might have been the problem, so I'm going to start doing that again. And put a little bit of slip around it, a little water. Of course, too, sometimes if you're making face jugs, I found out that as they're drying, if they dry too fast, the pieces that you put on will try to crack, because they dry faster than the jug itself, and so they shrink faster, and as a result they crack. And so sometimes it's a good idea with face jugs and some other jugs that have pieces attached like handles to cover them up with some plastic so they'll dry a lot slower. I know I have a good friend of mine, y'all may have seen the video we've got on YouTube of him, David Garner, at Turn and Burn Pottery. He's been doing this many, many years. I've learned a lot from him, being around both. And that's what he does the most of his stuff. He lets it dry a little bit slower. Of course, a lot too is a production potter, well, not per se production, but that's what he does for a living. Unlike me and Ryan, we just sort of, this is a hobby and we enjoy doing it right now. We're trying to work on getting the shop open and up and going. But he'll cover his up, let it dry a little slower. Plus too, his wife Deborah does some sgraffito work, so some stuff he can't let dry too fast because she has to have some time to work on it. Okay, I'm going to work on the nose next. I'm going to wet it a little bit. I like to put the little upper lid on after I do the nose. And let's see, let me etch this a little bit. Then I'm going to make the nose. We're going to move the camera and get a close-up on the nose. So before we do that, we're going to stop the video. And well, let's see, how much? We got 5 minutes. Okay, we should be okay. We've got time enough to do the nose. So what I do with the nose, I'll take. Let's move the camera down here, Ryan. And what I normally do is take me a piece of clay, get it in the ball here, and I'll sort of roll it up like a pear shape. Then I'll lay it down and pat it on both sides, and then I'll start making my nose shape. I'll make the top a little bit narrow, and don't have to be perfect. Nobody's got a perfect nose unless you're a movie star and had a nose job. Of course, it gives these character, makes them look. People like that, funny noses and funny faces. Let's see, that's a little bit big nose. Let's make a little bit smaller one. I'm going to cut this off a little bit. You have to adjust it according to the size of your jug. Sometimes you have to make it a little smaller. And can't have it too big. You want it a little bit in proportion. That'll work. Okay, so there's the nose. How it looks. Okay. We're going to move it up here. Turn the camera back up here and see if we can attach this nose before we run out of time on this one. Yeah, there we go. And we'll press it in there. Get my wooden tool here. Press around. We'll make it some bumps on his nose. Yeah. And I've got to fix the bottom here. Okay, then we gotta give him some holes to breathe out of. So we got a trusty little piece here I do that with. Yeah. Now he can breathe. You won't need a science job done or surgery done. Okay, now let's see. Now let's do some cleanup with the brush here. This is, I hope we get to do more videos. If you've not seen our other ones, if you just happen to get this one or these videos on the Facejug,
9 minutes.
There's some face videos with Ryan Turner, and there's an interview with good friend David Garner I've already mentioned on there. Okay, we got the nose done. We're going to stop the video here, and when we come back, we're going to see if we can finish this thing up and get his upper eyelids and a handle on it and have it finished. Okay? Be right back.